the truth is hidden from you. But I will expose it today. Nearly 2 billion people follow Muhammad, but they don't know a lot about him. This video covers some of Muhammad's actions that are deeply considered immoral in modern moral standards. Note that every claim in the video is supported by Islamic sources. I will start with slavery. While it is true that Muhammad freed some slaves, he still had many male and female slaves. Muslims try to justify it by saying it was the cultural norms at that time. But that is not a valid moral justification, because morality doesn't depend on the calendar, and the slaves suffered anyway. Others argue Quran permits slavery, but that cannot morally justify it either, because we are not even certain if he was the true messenger of God, and morality doesn't rely on assumptions and probability either. Why should the moral model be given an exception? Secondly, Muhammad had non-consensual sex with his concubines. Muhammad had 4 concubines. These concubines were Maria, Rayhana, and 2 other slave women. Muhammad once had sex with Maria in his wife's bed when she was out. When his wife discovered this, she was outraged. To calm her down, Muhammad swore he would never do it again. Then, a Quranic revelation came down, telling him not to prohibit what Allah had made lawful for him. In other words, the Quran was used to excuse the act. Again, this cannot be justified by simply saying Quran permitted it, or that concubinage were common at that time, because the harm was still done. Be honest, if it were someone else, would you still call him moral? Thirdly, Muhammad ordered the execution of 600 to 900 men after the siege of Banu Qurayza, even though they surrendered. Women and children were enslaved. How is that moral? Yet they still call him the moral model. But those weren't all. Muhammad married Aisha in his 50s, while Aisha was 6, and the marriage was consummated when Aisha was 9. He killed several poets just because they were mocking him, including Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf, Asma bint Marwa, and Abu Afaq. He reportedly asked, "Who will rid me of Marwan's daughter?" A follower murdered her in her sleep, in front of her children. Muhammad had 11 wives, while other Muslims were limited to 4. This shows that Muhammad had a special exemption. Not only them, but Muhammad also ordered to kill those who leave the religion. Muhammad had 11 wives, while other Muslims were limited to 4. This shows that Muhammad had a special exemption. He raided Meccan trade caravans, including during sacred months. After the Battle of Khaybar, Kanana, a Jewish treasurer, was tortured by hot iron to reveal hidden treasure by Muhammad's companions, under his direct command. Safiya bint Hayai's father, husband, and tribe were killed in Khaybar. She was taken as a captive, then married by Muhammad shortly after. Muhammad allowed temporary marriages, but it was later banned under Caliph Umar. After raids and battles, captured property and slaves were divided among soldiers. Muhammad received a fifth of the spoils. Muhammad reportedly publicly cursed opponents. He also prayed for Allah to destroy them in battle or through divine punishment. After gaining power in Mecca, he destroyed idols in the Kaaba and across Arabia. Zainab bint Jahsh, formerly married to Muhammad's adopted son. Muhammad married her after a divine revelation allowed it. Muhammad sexually desired her while she was still married to his adopted son. Muhammad declared that Jews and Christians must be expelled from the Arabian Peninsula, effectively ordering religious cleansing of the region. One day, Muhammad saw a woman walking by and became aroused just by looking at her. Instead of controlling his urges, he immediately went home to his wife Zainab and had sex with her. Afterward, he told his followers that a woman advances in the form of a devil and retreats in the form of a devil, and that if any of them feel aroused, they should go to their wives to relieve it. Afterward, he told his followers that, a woman advances in the form of a devil and retreats in the form of a devil, and that if any of them feel aroused, they should go to their wives to relieve it. This not only shows a disturbing lack of self-restraint, but it also blames women for simply existing, calling their beauty a form of satanic temptation. Is this the behavior of a man chosen as the greatest moral example in history? What do you think? If someone else did all those, would you call them moral?